As if Daedra weren't enough. What was he thinking? You there! I'm a captain in the Westweald Legion, and I require your assistance. I was leading a patrol hunting Daedra when one of my own legionaries attacked me. An orc named Ulrath. Such traitorous behavior endangered us all. Since I'm injured, could you locate whatever remains of my squadron? For mercenary pay, of course. When the Daedra ambushed us and Ulrath turned on me, I ordered the patrol to take shelter in Fort Hastral, to the northwest. Any survivors should be there. I need to know what happened to Ulrath, and to my squad. Report back to me with any news. If you find my squadron, tell them that Captain Dartorius sent you. Order them to stay put at Fort Hastral, and wait for me to join them. I'll stay here until you tell me it's safe. If you run into Ulrath, be careful. He's a cold-blooded killer. You must be aware of the strange Daedra popping up all over Westweald. While the Legion is stretched thin, we're not helpless. My soldiers were patrolling this region when the very Daedra we were tracking turned the table on us. If I only knew. I was at the head of the patrol about to lead the Daedra away to give my legionaries a chance when Ulrath cut me down. That orc was always complaining, but to disobey a direct order? Probably upset I never gave him that promotion. He certainly thought so. Expected to be made a sergeant just because I had him performing those duties for the squad. For all I know, Ulrath was in league with these Daedra. It wouldn't surprise me. He's a tough, nasty orc who hates taking orders.
careful. I've lost a lot of comrades today, so I'm not in a trusting mood. Who are you and what do you want? What happened to the squad? She's what happened to the squad! She froze when we spotted the Daedra. Refused to give a coherent order. I stepped in and she went crazy. Commanded the squad to engage a massively superior force. Then she turned to flee. Not hardly. She led her soldiers into a slaughter and then ordered them to cover her retreat. I cut her down, then rallied the squad and headed for this keep. We fought a running battle. I'm all that's left. Now it's my word against an officer's. The only thing I can do... run. I'm no coward, and I don't want to be labeled a deserter, but what choice do I have? A captain's word carries more weight than lowly orc legionaries. A lot more. I wrote a report. Will you give it to the captain? Not that I owe you an explanation, but everything I said is true. I wrote it all down. My report to the Legion. I doubt the captain will pass it along, but at least my conscience is clear. As for me, tell her I died, or I'm a deserter. I don't care. I don't. Not anymore. But I used to idolize her. Did everything I could to help her lead our squadron. Once the fighting stopped and I had a moment, I composed my report to explain what happened here. I left it over there, but you can take it. I finally saw our captain's true face. She used to be a great leader. I would have followed her to oblivion and back. But lately, she's been struggling. I helped as I could, doing what a sergeant would do, even without the rank. Then, today happened. It's all in my report. Ever since our first encounter with the Daedra a few weeks ago, she's been off, confusing orders, contradictory commands. When we walked into the ambush, she was like a rabbit in a snare. I tried to take command. She went wild, ordered the patrol to attack what was clearly a superior Daedric force. Then she fled, used her soldiers to cover her own escape. I just reacted, struck her a glancing blow. Now, tell her I deserted, or died, doesn't matter to me.
It's good to see someone who still knows how to follow orders. Did you make it to the fort? Did you find my squadron? What remained? Speak plainly, mercenary. What's the condition of my squadron? And what about the treacherous orc, Olrath? A report? You didn't read it, did you? No matter. My report supersedes Olrath's anyway. At least that orc got what he deserved. How dare he disobey my orders. Here, the mercenary pay I promised. You earned it. No matter how many times you lose a squadron, it never gets any easier. No need to stick around, mercenary. I'll be ready to head out myself in another few moments. Truth is written by the victors, mercenary. Haven't you learned that by now? The only truth is what I disclose to my superiors. Everything else is simply rumor and conjecture.
I know what you are, Night Hunter. If the Terror of the Weald, or whatever Belandris calls himself these days, sent you, know that I'm still the warrior I ever was. I'm heading into Sutch, and I'll go through you if I have to. Bloodsuckers, pale skins, night hunters, whatever you call them, this particular crew has left a trail of corpses in their wake. Get too close, and your lifeless husk will get added to the heap. I should know. I used to run with this lot. Was. Past tense. But I'm not about to bandy my history with Belandris, the so-called Terror of the Weald, to a stranger. If you want to tag along while I finish him, feel free. But I'll pay you. I don't like to owe favors. Not if I can avoid it. Those bloodsuckers we're hunting. That means they think there's still someone or something to find. Let's look around and see what they were searching for here in the tavern. I told you I used to run with the gang. And those Spennard twins were bad even before Belandris took on the name Terror of the Weald. But they're also cowards. Won't raise a finger without Belandris' say-so. Oh, I'm counting on it. I want that bastard to know I'm coming. When I left, I tried to put this behind me. But now Belandris calls himself the Terror. Now he's hurting this town. I swore the next time I drew this blade, it would be to end him. I don't know what to expect. But I plan to put my sword through anything that moves, unless I'm certain it's not a vampire. I have no desire to feel the sharp prick of fangs on my neck again. Still, I can hope. Let's search the tavern. Tham knew I was on my way. If there was something he thought I should know, he'd find a way to tell me. And on the off chance someone is alive in this blighted town, maybe we'll find them too. Tham's favorite. Torn, but no blood. Could be a good sign. Maybe. I knew Tham would get word to me. Don't like the way he ended it, but I know exactly where to find the best vintage. That's Tham's sword. I gave it to him so he could protect the tavern. All right, let's talk this through. It's obvious there was trouble here. Tham's tattered cloak, his bloodied sword, and the note he managed to leave for me. Clever of him to tell me where to find the surviving townsfolk without alerting the vampires. No, but it did mention his best vintage. A dark joke referring to my days as a vampire. And the place where old Decius slept it off? That's the bank vault. Damn Belandris. Why did he have to return to this town of all places? The chance that anyone's heart other than mine is still beating in this town is so low as to be non-existent. I want to find and deal with Belandris, the Terror. But I suppose I owe it to Tham to go where he pointed. Let's check the bank. The Sutch depository is across from the tavern. Belandris always had ambitions. But to become the Terror of the Weald? I saw all the signs, but didn't want to believe he was capable of such atrocities. Still, I left at the first opportunity. Our relationship started out well enough. A band of outlaws, trying to raise thievery to an art form. Whatever he did, Belandris wanted to be the best. Later, when banditry turned to blood, we hit a dry patch. That's when Belandris began to change. After we became vampires, we remained outlaws. We took blood from the recently dead and dying. We had honor. Only a few of us accepted the curse at first, but eventually Belandris convinced us there was more blood to be had than gold. He was wrong. I saw the darkness growing in Belandris, but it was Tham who convinced me to find a cure. He said I was better than what the rest of the gang was becoming. Now, my sword reminds me of myself in those darkest days. It's thirsty and craves blood. The clerk kept a spare key in a box by her desk. We'll need that to open the vault. Told you there was a spare key. Now let's go down and open that vault.
Father, is that you?
Hush, Abel. You'll give us away.
I'll be damned. There are survivors. Use the key and open
Stay
the
back.
vault.
Wait. Morena, you're with those bloodsuckers?
I'm not with them. Not anymore. My friend will explain while I keep watch.
Morena looks different. But if you're not with the vampires, does it mean it's safe out there? And did you see my husband, Gravier? He hasn't returned from his last excursion. We hid in here. Some miners, Tham, the banker and his husband, their clerk. My Gravier's been leading them to safety, taking them out in small groups. He's the best scout in the territory. But now it's just me and my son. Gravier hasn't returned. Yes, he suggested we hide in here in the first place. He offered to stay with Abel and me while Gravier got the last group out of town, but my husband insisted Tham go with them. Now they're out there somewhere. But with the vampires. I'm just the town alchemist. I'm no expert on vampires. But Belandros and his crew, they came here for a purpose. I heard one vampire say something about raising an army. You seem like you can handle yourself. Can you look for my husband, Gravier? My alchemist shop is close by. Feel free to make use of anything in there. I don't know of any potions that harm vampires, but much of my stock is explosive, when mixed correctly. And if you find Gravier, please send him back to us. Not exactly, but I have all sorts of tinctures, reagents, and solvents. Many of them can be combined to create poisons and unstable compounds that could explode given the right circumstances. You'll want to go with something simple. I'd suggest grabbing some alchemical oil and a few combustion canisters. They won't make a perfect weapon, but if you can mix them, set them, ignite them, and run, they do make a rather large boom.
We'll kill Belandros and put an end to this. You have my word. And we'll find your husband. Let's go.
I'd go with you to find my father, but he specifically told me to stay with my mother. Protect her, you understand? Good luck out there.
Might not be a bloodsucker anymore, but I can still hunt with the best of them. Stay alert. Just one clue from here will point us in the right direction. There! Tracks! Take a closer look. Definitely fresh. And they head southwest. That pack. Check it out while I keep watch. mining gear. Discarded to lose weight, I guess. Looks like they started veering west here. What's that on the ground ahead? Oh, must have been torn in struggle. Careful. I think they're close. Someone took out these blood fiends. And look, what's that paper? Damn Gravier and his cowardly eyes. We need to talk. That's Belandris' handwriting, all right. Looks like he made a deal with Gravier to sacrifice the rest of the townsfolk to the terror of the Weald. If Gravier's still alive, I can make him talk. Gravier's been working with these bastards. He must know where Belandris is hiding, and he can tell me what happened to Tham. After that, I'll show him the same mercy he gave the townsfolk. The stables are nearby, right on the edge of town. If Gravier's there, I'll make him talk. Belandris always wanted more gold, then more blood. Now he's calling himself the Terror. Sounds like he wants power now. Come to think of it, the stories of the Grey Host always fascinated him. Maybe they put a very bad idea into his head.
Marina! Stranger, cut me free! She's one of those monsters!
I'm the monster? After what you did? You better speak to him. Not sure
Why are you helping Marina? She's one of them! And Belandris, the terror of the Weald. He told me he returned to Sutch because of her. This is all her fault! You know about that? I had no choice. It was turn on the townsfolk or lose my family. But you're helping Marina. She's one of them. She'll turn on you the moment you're no longer useful, just like Belandris did to me. Doesn't matter. This is still her fault. The Terror came to Sutch looking for her. When he couldn't find her, he set his gang loose and started stockpiling weapons around town. If I didn't make a deal, my family would be dead now. Or worse. Why do you think Belandris is calling himself the Terror of the Weald now? He's trying to build a vampire army, and he's using the people of Sutch to swell his ranks. Look, whatever you may think of me, you can't leave me here to die! You can't! The vampires took Tham and the other townsfolk into the mines. I'm certain that's where Belandris has his headquarters. Or the vampires call it a lair, but you can't go down there! They'll tear you apart! Please, let me go! My family needs me!
Friend, we need to talk about this. I knew Belandris was angry when I left the gang. But to destroy a town and raise an army... He's really trying to live up to his new name. The Terror of the Weald. We killed Belandris just like I planned. He broke our pact and started consuming innocent people. We robbed gold to pay blood servants to sustain us. We were thieves first, vampires second. Or so I thought. The curse was just a means to an end. Not quite yet. Stopping the Terror won't be as simple as just killing Belandris. We need to destroy his weapon stockpiles and shatter his army. Maybe something in the alchemist shop can help with that. But first, we need to deal with this worm.
Please, you can't just leave me here.
Shut up, Gravier. Run back to your wife before I decide to tell her we were too late. Rosalind mentioned explosives. Look for alchemical oil and combustion canisters. Careful. One spark, and you'll be engulfed in alchemical fire. With that oil and the combustion canisters, we're all set. Let's find those weapon stockpiles. Those crates. That has to be one of the weapon stockpiles. Place the components and I'll do the rest. Place the components, and I'll add the spark. That takes care of the weapon stockpiles. Now let's head into the mine. Belandris must be keeping the blood fiends in dens. Just follow the sound of their wails, and we'll use the remaining explosives.
The terror will make you pay for destroying our weapons, Marina!
That's not all I plan to destroy, you bastards. Hear that? Blood fiends beyond that door. Place a combustion canister and step back. Stand back! One blood fiend den taken care of. There's probably one more. Let's go find it.
need you anymore, Marina. You've been replaced.
Sam the barkeep will be a much better vampire than you ever were.
The bastards turned Sam. Hurry! I hear more blood fiends. Place the combustion canister and stand clear. Stand clear! All right. Get to the real business. That takes care of the blood fiend dens. But were those vampires lying about Tham? Damn it. I never wanted anyone to get hurt when I decided to leave the gang and throw off my curse. Come on. Let's find Belandris' lair and finish this. Belandris was formidable when I ran with him. Now that he calls himself the Terror, I'm not sure what to expect. He'll be with his lieutenants, maybe a few blood fiends. And Tham, curse their eyes. Just remember, if I get turned again, kill me.
You're part of my army now, barkeep. Get used to it.
He's got Tham! Let's finish the bastard! Belandris, what have you become? Friend? Attack! battle started. Let's head outside. My sword tasted Belandris' blood and we ended the terror. Let's head outside and find Tham.
Marina, what's happening to me, Mayor?
It will be all right, Tham. You'll be all right. Check on Tham, friend. I need a moment.
I feel cold. My skin, it's pale. Please, tell me this isn't happening. Tell me I'm not becoming one of them. Yes, you're right. You and Mare saved my life. Saved what's left of Sutch. Well, if Marina could survive being a vampire, then I can as well. Thank you for helping her. Tell Mare. Tell her I'm all right.
It's done. The terror of the Weald is no longer a threat. I hope whatever remains of the gang has sense enough to scatter. I tried to do right by Sutch, getting rid of my curse. Now the place is a ghost town. And I have no idea what to do next. Tham. Right. I need to be here for him, the way he was for me. Help him, whether he decides to remain a vampire or seek the cure. It's the least I can do. Remember, I don't like owing favors. So take this. I want you to have it. For all your help. I'm at a loss, friend. I was so focused on stopping Belandris and saving Tham. I never gave a thought as to what comes next. I guess I need to figure it out. I told you I hate owing favors, but I can't help feeling that suddenly I owe a whole lot. I owe Tham. Probably more than I can ever repay. And the people of Sutch. It's because of me that the town was overrun by Belandris and his gang of vampires. I need to try to help them all recover. To find a way to carry on with their lives. I think so. At least, for a while. Tham needs to learn how to deal with the curse. Then I need to help him figure out whether to try to live with it, or seek a cure. As for the town, that's a harder problem to solve. Once a place gets a bad reputation, it's hard to shake it. And the vampires killed a lot of people, did a lot of damage. Well, I suppose I can help deal with any of the terrorist gang that are still prowling around. That's something, right?
I need to figure out what to do next. Do I learn to live with the curse or find a way to cure it like Mare did? And what about the town? Do we abandon Sutch or try to rebuild? Too many questions and not enough answers. At least Marina's back. I have no idea. I'm not even sure why I seem to be a full vampire, while the rest of the townsfolk were turned into blood fiends. I guess that's just another thing I need to talk to Marina about. She's got more experience with this than I do. Another good question to which I have no answer. I love this town. But with most of the people gone, can Sutch even survive? I suppose one of the first things I need to do is check on my tavern. See how much of my livelihood remains intact.